Hello everyone, Adrienne here. So today is going to be another Absinthe review. I am pretty damn excited about this one because this is one I've been wanting to try for a very long time. Just never really got around to it, and unfortunately I was really upset that I didn't get this before I had my big Absinthe Green Goddess photo shoot, because I think this would have been perfect to include, but that's okay. So, today we're going to be reviewing the green sister of La Clandestine, and her name is Angelique. So excited. First of all, let's just talk about the packaging. It is absolutely gorgeous. I can't express to you how gorgeous it is. It has little wormwood leaves, it has a little distillation equipment. Ooh, it's even kind of textured. That's neat. And as you can see from the Swiss flag that's right there, this is made in the Val de Travers, which is the birthplace of absinthe. And I am, oh my god, I'm so excited to have this. I really am. So I am actually friends with one of the owners of La Clandestine, and he and I have been working together quite a lot on helping the perception of absinthe on places such as TikTok, on YouTube, which I have been doing for a number of years, and I appreciate the things that he has complimented me on for what I do here on my channel in terms of absinthe is concerned, so yeah. So let's read a little bit about Angelique, shall we? Angelique is handcrafted by Claude Aine Bounon using Val de Travers Grand Wormwood, Angelica, and 10 other aromatic herbs. Its natural flavor comes from a secondary maceration of plants. Discover the subtle aromas and pleasantly bitter taste of authentic absinthe by adding 3/4 measures of chilled water over a sugar cube if so desired. Angelique is wonderful in classic cocktails. Use as a rinse in a Sazerac. Oh, I love Sazerac cocktail. That's giving me goosebumps right now. Or with champagne in a Death in the Afternoon, and it also says in a Corpse Reviver number 2. So, I'm pretty excited about this. I like that it says it's a little bit on the bitter side, because as much as I like La Clandestine, I will say that it is just a touch too sweet for my preference. But then again, I have become accustomed to the flavor profile of absinthe just in general. And on top of that, my palate tends to lean a little bit more toward the bitter side. So because of that, I tend to lean a little bit more toward the bitter absinthes and a bit more toward things that are a bit more dry. So I like dry champagne, I like dry red wine, I like dark chocolate. I like black French roasted coffee, and I like black cold brew coffee. So just to give you guys an idea of, I've gotten accustomed to things that are more bitter than sweet as I've gotten a bit older, and that certainly is the case with absinthe as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing how the balance of this is. I'm thinking it's going to be just a tiny bit more well balanced than La Clandestine is. I also want to say that I got a few new absinthe toys in the mail. I'm so excited. So here I have a verse, which basically just in French just means a water pourer. So basically it just sits on top of the glass like this, and then you just prepare absinthe that way. And the reason why I bring this up is because I actually asked you guys on Twitter if you wanted to see this in my traditional fountain preparation, or if you wanted to see it with the verse, and you guys wanted to see it with the verse. So I'm pretty excited about this. I know that this is usually a method that is favored by people who tend to have their absinthe without sugar anyway. I got a glass one of these, and I also got a metal version as well. And I mainly got these for TikTok, but I also thought it would be fun to do a video on the different methods of absinthe preparation. So if you guys are interested in seeing that, please let me know. So now comes the point where I reposition the camera, and we are going to take a look at Angelique in terms of its appearance and of the louche, and then we're going to do our tasting, of course, as always, so stay tuned. All right, everyone, so here we are. We are going to get into this bottle of Angelique. Again, I'm so excited about this. Let me just reach over here and very ungracefully open this thing with a corkscrew because I don't feel like dealing with this. Ooh, guys. That smells incredible. Not gonna lie, that legitimately smells incredible. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a pour here. Alright, so I will say the color is just a little bit lackluster. It's not really that deep or complex necessarily. It is correct. I will give it that. That is definitely the correct color that Absinthe should be, but it's not quite as deep, brilliant, and jewel-like as I would prefer. I would give this 3.5 stars based on the appearance of it. Actually, scratch that. Let's just give it a solid 4 stars. You know, 4 stars is correct color, but it just doesn't have that brilliance that would elevate it to a 4.5 to a 5 star. So, yeah, a little disappointing on the color, but let's see what the louche does. Alright, so as promised, I have my verte ready to go. Pretty excited about this. And I'm going to very ungracefully prepare this with my Brita filter pitcher from my fridge. Hey, it's cold. That counts. Alright, let's do this. Okay, it's clouding up right away. That's a good sign. That is a really thick louche, my goodness. Like I said, getting a verte like this would actually be a really good option for people if they want like a single serve for Absinthe, or if they usually prefer their preparation to be without sugar, which is usually the boat that I'm in when it comes to doing my YouTube reviews, so yeah. I will say the louche is very thick and very creamy. It just straight up turned almost white upon adding the water. Slightly disappointing, but I will give it the full 4 stars. Not the 5 stars, mind you, but the full 4 stars for having a very thick, opalescent, opaque louche, because that is the sign of a true quality absinthe. Ooh, I can smell that already. That smells wonderful. Okay, got a little sidetracked there. I'm so sorry. All right, so as far as the louche is concerned, I will give it a solid 4 stars for how thick and opalescent it is, but I am taking that full point away for again, the lack of depth and complexity, but it is correct and it is very, very thick. So I can't fault it too much. All right, so Louche is going to be 4 stars. All right, let's go ahead and reposition the camera one more time so we can give our thoughts on the aroma and the flavor and the mouthfeel, and then give our final thoughts. So guys, here is our prepared glass of Angelique. So like I said, I'm just slightly disappointed by the Louche. I am impressed by how thick the Louche is. I'm just not as impressed by the color. I mean, it's almost white, but that's okay. That's okay. As long as, you know, the rest of the criteria are good, then I don't have too much to complain about. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the aroma, shall we? Ooh. Ooh, baby, that's fresh. I get kind of like an earthy, piney, really good anise sort of fragrance. I can definitely taste the Veronica and the Melissa in there. And the Angelica, because that makes total sense. And the wormwood has that really nice sagey sort of whisper at the very end. Ooh, that's really lovely. This, like, you know how sometimes I refer to, like, either the scent or the aftertaste of absinthe as like a breath of fresh winter air? This is like a breath of fresh autumn air. Like, it has that little edge of bitterness that makes it feel a little bit more fall-like. Does that make sense? Fresh autumn air. Really lovely. So aroma, I will give 4.5 stars because it is traditional and correct, and it is just so fresh and lovely. I can definitely tell that she is related to La Clandestine, but just a little bit more on the bitter side. So I have a feeling that this will be one that beginners will enjoy. So like I said, hopefully this will be just slightly more balanced. So hopefully it'll be one that I can give to a beginner with a slightly more bitter flavor profile, or a flavor tendency, I guess. A little bit more of a bitter palate, that's what I'm trying to say. Goodness, haven't even had any yet. Getting a massage after this. Lord help me, I need it. Okay, guys, so for aroma, I'm going to give this 4.5 stars. Let's go ahead and go in for a taste, and as always, santé, and please drink responsibly. Ooh. Ooh, that's really nice. So this is everything that you like about La Clandestine, but just a little bit more bitter. So I definitely agree with the description saying that this is her more bitter, wicked sister, so that's definitely accurate. And I can definitely see this being a really nice part of any kind of absinthe cocktail, like if you're introducing someone who's new to absinthe to the absinthe cocktails out there, this is a really good one to use for those cocktails. It's subtle and it's just sweet enough, but it has that nice kind of like, I want to say like piney sort of bitterness. Like, it kind of reminds me just a little bit of rosemary. Tiny, tiny, tiny bit. Maybe that's the wormwood I'm tasting. I'm definitely tasting the hyssop, and I'm tasting the Melissa and the Veronica and the Angelica. That's, wow. That's really, really nice. Yeah, I'm gonna guess that that kind of rosemary-ish kind of finish is probably the wormwood that I'm tasting. Really lovely. So guys, this is really, really nice. I really like it. I personally think it's a little weak as far as flavor is concerned, but I can see this being favored by someone who's a beginner, just getting started with absinthe, has gotten used to the flavor of La Clandestine and wants to graduate to Angelique. Yeah, so this isn't bad by any means. It's just a little bit too soft for me. I do really like it though. Excellent choice for beginners, really. Excellent, excellent choice for beginners. I'm not sure if I mentioned it, but this is also 68% alcohol. It's a lot, but definitely not the highest that I've had as far as alcohol content and absinthe are concerned. So, not bad. Like I said, it's just sweet enough. Like, I can see someone who has a bit more of a bitter sort of palate drinking this pretty easily without sugar. So, like I said, this is a really good verte to introduce to a beginner for absinthe. I can see this being liked by experts as well, but like I said, it is a little weak in comparison to other vertes that I've had, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. So if you want something lighter, if you want something that's a little bit more suitable for cocktails, if you want something that's more suited for a beginner, I think this will do you really, really, really well. Really well. I can talk, I promise. Yeah, it's very, very fresh. It's like an autumn day, like a fresh autumn day. Sun shining, a little bit of breeze, maybe some cloudiness. That's what that makes me think of. That's a lot like how my wedding's going to be, actually. Wow. So my final thought, ooh, that finish is really nice. It has a silky smooth finish, which is great. It goes down really, really smoothly. Thick louche, lovely mouthfeel. It's just really nice. It's really, really nice. So as far as flavor is concerned, I'm going to go ahead and give it 4 stars because it is traditional, it's correct. The only thing that I don't really like about it is just that it's a little weak. But again, that may be to the advantage of someone giving this to a beginner for absinthe, wanting to graduate them from a blanche or a bleu to a verte. So it's not necessarily a bad thing that it's a little weak, but that's fine. I personally like this slightly more than La Clandestine, only because it is just slightly more balanced. Does that make sense? I hope it does. It's slightly more balanced toward the bitter side, as opposed to just being like ridiculously sweet on its own, but in the most pleasant way possible. Again, I hope that made sense. With my review of La Clandestine, it was incredibly sweet just by itself, and that was really surprising to me. But of course, that was the first absinthe review that I had done in a very long time when I started doing these absinthe reviews in this format. Like, I wasn't expecting it to be that sweet without sugar. But I like this one a little bit more than La Clandestine because it is a little bit more bitter and a little bit more full-bodied, but still weak in comparison to other vertes that I have had. So not necessarily a bad thing. I like my absinthe just a little stronger. In flavors, in flavor profile, that is. So, my final thoughts on Angelique. So, for the appearance, I gave it 3.5 to 4 stars because the color was a little weak. Just a little bit. Not necessarily that's a bad thing. I would rather have how this turned out than have artificial coloring because that's bad. You want to avoid that. As for the louche, I gave it 4 stars because it was thick and opalescent, but it just didn't have that jewel-like brilliance or opalescent kind of quality that I would typically give to like 4.5 to 5-star absinthes. Now, flavor, I will give 4 stars because it's correct and traditional. It's just a little weak. And then for the mouthfeel, I will definitely give that 4 stars as well because, again, it's traditional, correct. silky smooth, went down really, really easily, really nice. So once again, I would recommend this for someone who makes absinthe cocktails. I would recommend this to someone who is still just getting started with absinthe and has graduated from drinking La Clandestine to drinking something just a little bit stronger, as far as the flavor profile is concerned, of course, and I guess the alcohol content too. So everyone, I hope that you enjoyed this review. It was a lot of fun. And maybe Precious can come in and say hi. Precious! Oh, there she is. Come here, honey. Precious, come here. Oh, there's our baby cat. Hey, baby, I love you. Oh, she's so sweet. So everyone, thank you so much to my patrons for your support every month. I really appreciate it. And to everyone else, I love you. You're amazing. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys later.